Hi everyone, this is Dr. K. Shobha, Gfgc Hoskote. Already we have done some of the problems regarding the Lifo method, Fifo method, average, simple average method, weighted average method. Now let us move on to the combined problems. Under this, see, from the following, prepare the store's ledger account using Fifo, Lifo, simple average and weighted average method. On January 1st, purchased 500 units at rupees 5 per unit. On January 5th, purchased 600 units at rupees 6 per unit. On January 15th, issued 350 units. On January 20th, issued 200 units. On Jan 25th, purchased 200 units at rupees 2 per unit. On January 30th, issued 600 units. Now, let us move on to the problem under the Fifo method. So here, on Jan 1st, purchased 500 units at the rate of rupees 5 per unit, amounted to 2,500, and after the purchase, immediately go for the balance 500 at the rate of rupees 5, amounted to 2,500. Again on 5th, we have been purchased, that is 600 units at the rate of rupees 6, amounted to 3,600. Immediately after the purchase, we need to go for the balancing. Earlier we had a balance of 500. Now take the same balance 500 and cost per unit is 5, amounted to 2,500. Now we have been purchased on 5th. Take the balance here 600, cost per unit is 6, amounted to 3,600. And on 15, we have issued. How many units we have been issued? 350 units was being issued. The cost per unit is 5, amounted to 1,750. Now, immediately after the issue, go for the balancing here. See here, under this, we are doing the first in, first out. Out of 500, we have issued 350. What is the balance available? 150 is the balance. What is the cost per unit? 5, and amounted to 150 into 5 is 750. Now, on 5th purchase, the balance remains same. So take that balance 600, cost per unit is 6, amounted to 3,600. We are doing under the Fifo method. On 20th Jan, issued. See here, how many units we have been issued? 300 units we have been issued. Now, what was the balance is available? 150 units and 600 units. First in, first out. So, hagage issue 150 units to the first. So, 150, 5 and 750. Now, see how many should be issued? 200. Only first lot we have been issued. So, another lot. How many units were there? 600 was there. Out of 600, issue 50. Now, after issuing 50 units, the cost per unit is 6, amounted to 300. Out of 600, you have issued 50. What is the available balance? 550 is the balance. So 550 and the cost per unit is 6, amounted to 3,300. Now, next is on 25th Jan, purchased, on 25th Jan, purchased 200 units. See here, we have done the balancing. How many units we have done the balance? 550 was the balance available with us. Now, on 25th, we have been purchased. 25th, purchased 200 units at the rate of rupees 2, amounted to 400. Now, what was the balance we had? 550. Out of 550, we have purchased. Take the same balance, 550 and hagine remain matchful. Now you have purchased 200. Take that to your balance, 550 and 200. Rate per remains same. ನೀವು ಎಷ್ಟಕ್ಕೆ ಪರ್ಚೇಸ್ ಮಾಡಿರ್ತೀರಾ ಅದೇ ರೇಟನ್ನು ನಾವು ಕ್ಯಾರಿ ಮಾಡ್ತೀವಿ. Now, on 30th Jan issued. Total 600 units was being issued. So 600 ಅನ್ನು ನಾವು ಇಶ್ಯೂ ಮಾಡಬೇಕು ಅಂತ ಹೇಳಿದ್ರೆ ಮೊದಲನೇ ಲಾಟಲ್ಲಿ ನಮ್ಮ ಹತ್ರ ಇರೋದು 550 ಯೂನಿಟ್ಸ್. ಆ 550 ಯೂನಿಟ್ಸ್ ನ ಮೊದಲು ಇಶ್ಯೂ ಮಾಡಿ. ಕಾಸ್ಟ್ ಪರ್ ಯೂನಿಟ್ ಎಷ್ಟು? 6. ಅಮೌಂಟ್ ಎಷ್ಟು? 3300. ನಾ ಸಿ ಹಿಯರ್ ಈಗ ನಮ್ಮಲ್ಲಿ ಎರಡನೇ ಲಾಟಲ್ಲಿ 200 ಯೂನಿಟ್ಸ್ ಇದೆ. ಔಟ್ ಆಫ್ 200 ಇಶ್ಯೂ 50. ಸೊ ಅವಾಗ ಎಷ್ಟಾಗುತ್ತೆ? 600 ಇಶ್ಯೂ ಆಗುತ್ತೆ. ಇವಾಗ 200 ಅಲ್ಲಿ 50 ಹೋದ್ರೆ ಇನ್ನು ಎಷ್ಟು ಬ್ಯಾಲೆನ್ಸ್ ಇದೆ? 150 ಇಸ್ ದಿ ಬ್ಯಾಲೆನ್ಸ್. ಸೊ ಕಾಸ್ಟ್ ಪರ್ ಯೂನಿಟ್ 2 rupees only. So 150 into 2 is 300. This is how we need to do it under the Fifo method. Now, what is the closing stock? Closing stock available 150 units at rupees 2 per unit. So total stock is available 300 amount. 300 is the amount. Now, let us move on to the next method, that is Lifo method. See, we have done under the Lifo method. Now, let us move on to the Lifo method. On 1st January, purchased 500 at the rate of rupees 5, amounted to 2500. What is the balance available? 500 cost per unit is 5, 2500. On 5th Jan, purchased 600 units. Cost per unit is 6 and amounted to 3600 charge. Next, on what is the balance available? 500 is the balance. Cost per unit, earlier balance you had 500. Cost per unit is 5 and 2500. Now, recently we have been purchased 600 units. And what is the cost per unit? 6. Now, the balance available is 3600. On 15th, we have issued 350 units. Say, we are doing it under the Lifo method. When you are doing it under the Lifo method, say, how many units we have? There are 2 units. First one is 500 units and the second one is 600 units. Under the Lifo method, last in, first out. Last in, first out ಅಂದ್ರೆ last balance ಏನಿರುತ್ತೆ ಅದರಲ್ಲಿ ಮೊದಲು ನಾವು ಇಶ್ಯೂ ಮಾಡಬೇಕಾಗುತ್ತೆ. ಸೊ ಹಾಗಾಗಿ ಔಟ್ ಆಫ್ 600 ಇಶ್ಯೂ 350. And next, what is the cost per unit? 6. And 350 into 6, 2100. Now, what is the balance available? 500. Carry the same balance. 5 per unit. Amounted to 2500. Out of 600, we have issued 350. Now, what is the balance available? 250. Cost per unit is 6. Amounted to 1500. Next, on 20th Jan issued. How many units we have been issued? 200 units was been issued. Last in, first out. Last balance what you had, issue that to the production department. Out of 250, issue 200. So cost per unit is 6. 200 into 6, 1200. Now, carry the same balance. 500 was the first lot. 500, 5 and 2500. Out of 250, you have issued 200. What is the balance? 500. Cost per unit is 6. Amounted to 300. Next. On 25th Jan, purchased 200 units. At the rate of rupees 2 and amounted to 400. See, what is the balance we had? Carry the same balance. 500, 500, 50, 50. Now we have purchased 200. Take the balance. That is the third lot. First lot is 500, second lot is 50, and the third lot is 200. See here, we have done the balancing with the same cost per unit. Now, on 30th Jan, we should issue. How much should be issued? So total 600 should be issued. Under the Fifo method, under the Lifo method, we used to be issued last in, first out. Last ನಮ್ಮ balance ಏನಿದೆ ಅದನ್ನ ನಾವು ಮೊದಲು production department ಗೆ issue ಮಾಡ್ತೇವೆ. So last balance ಎಷ್ಟಿದೆ 200 is available. First issue that 200. What is the cost per unit? 2. What is the amount? 400. That should be issued. Next. What is the balance available in the second lot? 50. Issue that to the production department. 50 into 6. So 300. And next to say 250 and now issue ಮಾಡಿದೀವಿ. Still how much should be issued? 350 should be issued. Andre already ನಮ್ಮ ಹತ್ರ 500 balance ಇದೆ. Out of 500 issue 350. 500 minus of out of 500 issue 350. 500 ಅಲ್ಲಿ 350 ಅನ್ನ issue ಮಾಡಿದ್ರೆ ನಮ್ಮಲ್ಲಿ balance ಎಷ್ಟಿರುತ್ತೆ 150 will be the balance. Okay, now so the same cost per unit 150 into 5 is 750. Now this is how we need to be calculated under the Lifo method. After the calculation, we need to go for the closing stock. Closing stock available is 150 units at rupees 5 per unit. So total value of stock available is 750 is the amount. Okay. Now let us move on to the next method, that is simple average method. See, under this simple average method, earlier slides, we have already calculated how to calculate the simple average method problems. And even I have shown you people that how to calculate under the working node when the simple average problem is being given. Now, in this problem, directly I will be showing you how we need to be calculated without any working node. Now, let us move on to the simple average method problem. On 1st January, purchased 500 units at the rate of rupees 5, amounted to 2,500. What is the balance? Immediately after the purchase, do the balancing here. 500, the cost per unit is 5 and the amounted to 2,500. And again, on 5th, we have purchased. How much we have been purchased? 600 units we have been purchased. What is the cost per unit? 6. So amounted to 3,600. And one thing you need to be observed under the simple average method anta helidre, how many units, how many quantities you have been purchased, n number of quantities rate per unit to be calculated to calculate the issue price. Okay, now see here, on 1st you have purchased 500 units. What is the cost per unit? Is 5. On 5th Jan you have purchased 600. What is the cost per unit? 6. And now you need to be balanced here. 500 plus 600, 1,100. 2,500 plus 3,600, 6,100. For the simple average method, we are not calculating the cost price. Whenever we are issuing, at that time, we are going to calculate the issue price with the help of the materials. That is the quantity. Now, on 15th Jan, we have issued 350 units. Now, we need to calculate the issue price because we don't know what is the issue price. Now, let us calculate the issue price. See here, what is the balance available here? 1,100. Out of that, you need to be issued 350. ಈಗ ನಾವು 350 ಅನ್ನ ಇಶ್ಯೂ ಮಾಡಬಹುದು, ಬಟ್ ಆದ್ರೆ ಕಾಸ್ಟ್ ಪರ್ ಯೂನಿಟ್ ಎಷ್ಟು ಅಂತ ನಮಗೆ ಗೊತ್ತಿಲ್ಲ. ನಾವು ವಿ ನೀಡ್ ಟು ಬಿ ಕ್ಯಾಲ್ಕುಲೇಟೆಡ್ ದಟ್. ಹೇಗೆ ಈ 5.5 ಬಂತು ಅಂತ ಹೇಳಿದ್ರೆ, ಫಸ್ಟ್ ಲಾಟ್ ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಫಸ್ಟ್ ಹೌ ಮಚ್ ಯು ಹ್ಯಾವ್ ಬಿನ್ ಪರ್ಚೇಸ್ 500 ಯೂನಿಟ್ಸ್ ಅನ್ನ ಪರ್ಚೇಸ್ ಮಾಡಿದ್ವಿ. ವಾಟ್ ಇಸ್ ದ ರೇಟ್ ಹಿಯರ್? 5. ದಿಸ್ ಇಸ್ ಹೌ ವಿ ಆರ್ ಗೋಯಿಂಗ್ ಟು ಬಿ ಕ್ಯಾಲ್ಕುಲೇಟಿಂಗ್. ಎರಡನೇ ಸತಿ ನಾವು ಎಷ್ಟು ಪರ್ಚೇಸ್ ಮಾಡಿದೀವಿ? 600 ಅನ್ನ ಪರ್ಚೇಸ್ ಮಾಡಿದ್ವಿ. ವಾಟ್ ಇಸ್ ದ ರೇಟ್ ಪರ್ ಯೂನಿಟ್? 6. ಓಕೆ, ಸೊ ಎಷ್ಟು ಲಾಟ್ ಅನ್ನ ನಾವು ಪರ್ಚೇಸ್ ಮಾಡಿದೀವಿ? 2 ಲಾಟ್ಸ್ ಅನ್ನ ಆಲ್ರೆಡಿ ನಾವು ಪರ್ಚೇಸ್ ಮಾಡಿದ್ವಿ. ಸೊ 5 plus 6 divided by 2. How many units we have? 2 units we have. Okay, so 5 plus 6 is 11. divided by 2 because we have only 2 units here. So divided by 2 madidre, we are going to get 5.5. Earlier slides alli nanu clear agi working note na hege madbeku anta nanu nimge ತೋರಿಸ್ಕೊಟ್ಟಿದ್ದೇನೆ. Okay, so 350 into 5.5, you are going to get 1925. So 1100 minus of 350, you are going to get 750. 6100 minus of 1925, you are going to get 4175. This is the balance. Next, let us move on to the 20th Jan. Even on 20th Jan, we have issued. How many units we have been issued? 300 units na issue ಮಾಡಿದ್ದೀವಿ. ಎಷ್ಟು quantity of materials ನಮ್ಮಲ್ಲಿ ಇದೆ? Only 2 quantity of the materials we have. ಒಂದು 5 ಮತ್ತೆ ಇನ್ನೊಂದು 6. Okay, so at the same time, you have to observe here. See here, ನಾವು ಬ್ಯಾಲೆನ್ಸ್ ನ 1100 ಮಾಡಿದ ನಂತರ ನಾವು ಎಷ್ಟು ಇಶ್ಯೂ ಮಾಡಿದೀವಿ? 350 ಅನ್ನ ಇಶ್ಯೂ ಮಾಡಿದೀವಿ. ಈ 350 ಯಾವ ಬ್ಯಾಲೆನ್ಸು ಯಾವ ಕಡೆಯಿಂದ ನಾವು ಇಶ್ಯೂ ಮಾಡ್ತಿದೀವಿ ಅಂತ ಹೇಳಿದ್ರೆ, ನೀವು ಮೊದಲನೇ ತಾರೀಕು ಪರ್ಚೇಸ್ ಮಾಡಿರುವಂತಹ ಕ್ವಾಂಟಿಟಿ, ಎಷ್ಟು ಕ್ವಾಂಟಿಟಿ ಇಶ್ಯೂ ಮಾಡಿ ಲೈಕ್ ಪರ್ಚೇಸ್ ಮಾಡಿದೀವಿ? 500 ಅನ್ನ ನಾವು ಪರ್ಚೇಸ್ ಮಾಡಿದೀವಿ. ಸೊ ಹಾಗಾಗಿ ಮೊದಲು ಫಸ್ಟ್ ಇನ್ ಫಸ್ಟ್ ಔಟ್ ಮೆಥಡ್ ಅನ್ನ ನಾವು ಇದಕ್ಕೆ ಫಾಲೋ ಮಾಡ್ಕೊಳ್ತೀವಿ. ಸೊ ಔಟ್ ಆಫ್ 1100 550 ಇದ್ರ ಜೊತೆಗೆ ಸೇರ್ಕೊಂಡಿದೆ. ಸೊ ಇದ್ರಲ್ಲಿ ನಾವೇನ್ ಮಾಡ್ತೀವಿ? 350 ಅನ್ನ ಇಶ್ಯೂ ಮಾಡಿದೀವಿ ಅಂತ ಹೇಳಿದ್ರೆ, ಔಟ್ ಆಫ್ 500 ಯು ಹ್ಯಾವ್ ಇಶ್ಯೂಡ್ 350. ಸೊ ನಮ್ಮಲ್ಲಿ ಇನ್ನೂ ಎಷ್ಟು ಬ್ಯಾಲೆನ್ಸ್ ಇದೆ? 150 ಹಾಗೇನೆ ಉಳ್ಕೊಂಡಿದೆ. ನಾವು ಸಿ ಇದನ್ನ ನಾವು ಬ್ಯಾಲೆನ್ಸ್ ಮಾಡಿ ಆಗಿದೆ. ನಾನು ನಿಮ್ಗೆ ಹೇಳ್ಕೊಟ್ಟಿದ್ದೀನಿ ಹೇಗೆ ಮಾಡ್ಬೇಕು ಅಂತ. ನಾವು ಔಟ್ ಆಫ್ 1100 ಯು ಹ್ಯಾವ್ ಇಶ್ಯೂಡ್ 350. ಈ 350 ಯಾವುದು ಅಂತ ಹೇಳಿದ್ರೆ 500 ಇಂದ ನಾವು 350 ಅನ್ನ ಇಶ್ಯೂ ಮಾಡಿದೀವಿ. ದಿಸ್ ಇಸ್ 500 and we have issued 350 here. ಇನ್ನು ಬ್ಯಾಲೆನ್ಸ್ ನಮ್ಮಲ್ಲಿ ಎಷ್ಟಿದೆ? 150. ಆ 150 ಜೊತೆಗೆ ಈ 600 ಅನ್ನ ಮತ್ತೆ ನಾವು ಪರ್ಚೇಸ್ ಮಾಡಿದೀವಿ ತಾನೆ, ಅದ್ರದ್ದು ಇದು 750. now we need to be issued. ಎಷ್ಟು ಇಶ್ಯೂ ಮಾಡಬೇಕು? 300 ಅನ್ನ ಇಶ್ಯೂ ಮಾಡಬೇಕು. ಆಲ್ರೆಡಿ ನಾನು ನಿನಗೆ 300 ಅನ್ನ ಇಶ್ಯೂ ಮಾಡಬೇಕು ಅಂತ ಹೇಳಿದ್ರೆ, ಔಟ್ ಆಫ್ 500 ನನ್ನ ಹತ್ರ ಮೊದಲನೇ ಬ್ಯಾಲೆನ್ಸ್ 150 ಇದೆ ತಾನೆ, 150 ಇದೆ, ಹಾಗೇನೆ 600 ಬ್ಯಾಲೆನ್ಸ್ ಇದೆ. ಸೊ ಏನ್ ರೇಟ್ ಇದೆ? 5 ಮತ್ತೆ 6. ಸೊ ಈ 5 plus 6 ಅನ್ನ ಮಾಡಿ ಡಿವೈಡೆಡ್ ಬೈ 2 ಮಾಡಿ. ಸೊ ಹಾಗಾಗಿ ಯು ಆರ್ ಗೋಯಿಂಗ್ ಟು ಗೆಟ್ 5.5. ಸೊ ವಾಟ್ ಇಸ್ ದಿ ಅಮೌಂಟ್ ಹಿಯರ್? 1100. ನೌ ಆಫ್ಟರ್ ದ ಇಶ್ಯೂ ಗೋ ಫಾರ್ ದಿ ಬ್ಯಾಲೆನ್ಸ್. 750 ನಲ್ಲಿ 300 ಹೋದ್ರೆ 550 ಉಳಿಯುತ್ತೆ. ಈ 550 ಯಾವುದರದು ಅಂತ ಹೇಳಿದ್ರೆ, ನೀವು 5ನೇ ತಾರೀಕು ಪರ್ಚೇಸ್ ಮಾಡಿರುವಂತಹ 600 ಯೂನಿಟ್ಸ್ ಇದು ಬ್ಯಾಲೆನ್ಸ್. ಸೊ ಹಾಗಿದ್ದಾಗ ನಮ್ಮಲ್ಲಿ ಇರುವಂತಹ ಕ್ವಾಂಟಿಟಿ, ಇವಾಗ ನಮ್ಮಲ್ಲಿ ಇರುವಂತಹ ಮೆಟೀರಿಯಲ್ಸ್ ಬರೀ ಒಂದು ಮಾತ್ರನೇ ನಮ್ಮಲ್ಲಿ ಈಗ ಉಳಿದಿರುತ್ತೆ. ಸೊ ಅಮೌಂಟೆಡ್ ಟು 3075. ನೆಕ್ಸ್ಟ್ ಆನ್ 25th we have purchased. ಎಷ್ಟನ್ನ ಪರ್ಚೇಸ್ ಮಾಡಿದೀವಿ? 200 ಯೂನಿಟ್ಸ್ ಅನ್ನ we have been purchased. What is the rate per unit? rupees 2. ಇವಾಗ ಟೋಟಲ್ ಅಮೌಂಟ್ 400 ಆಗುತ್ತೆ. ನಮ್ಮ ಹತ್ರ ಬ್ಯಾಲೆನ್ಸ್ 550 ಇದೆ, ಅದಕ್ಕೆ ಈ 200 ಅನ್ನ ಆಡ್ ಮಾಡ್ಕೊಳ್ಳಿ. ಅವಾಗ ಎಷ್ಟು ಬರುತ್ತೆ? 750 we are going to get. ಮತ್ತೆ 3075 ಗೆ ಈ 400 ಅನ್ನ ಆಡ್ ಮಾಡ್ಕೊಳ್ಳಿ. ಅವಾಗ ಎಷ್ಟು ಬರುತ್ತೆ? 3475. ನಾವು ಈಗ ನಾವು ಈ 750 ಅನ್ನ ಅಬ್ಸರ್ವ್ ಮಾಡ್ಬೇಕು. ಹೇಗೆ ಅಂತ ಹೇಳಿದ್ರೆ, ಒಂದು 550 ಇದು ಅಂದ್ರೆ 5ನೇ ತಾರೀಕು ಪರ್ಚೇಸ್ ಮಾಡಿರುವಂತಹ ರೇಟು ಇದರಲ್ಲಿ ಇದೆ. ಹಾಗೆಯೇ 25ನೇ ತಾರೀಕು ಪರ್ಚೇಸ್ ಮಾಡಿರುವಂತಹ 200 ಯೂನಿಟ್ಸ್ ಅನ್ನು ಸಹ ಇದರಲ್ಲಿ ಸೇರ್ಕೊಂಡಿದೆ. ಸೊ ಹಾಗಾಗಿ ನಮ್ಮಲ್ಲಿ ಕಾಸ್ಟ್ ಪರ್ ಯೂನಿಟ್ ಎಷ್ಟಿದೆ ಅಂದ್ರೆ 6 ಮತ್ತೆ 2, 6 and 2 we have. now on 30th you need to be issued. ಇವಾಗ ಎಷ್ಟು ಇಶ್ಯೂ ಮಾಡಬೇಕು? 600 ಅನ್ನ ನಾನು ಇಶ್ಯೂ ಮಾಡಬೇಕು. 600 ಅನ್ನ ಇಶ್ಯೂ ಮಾಡಬೇಕು ಅಂತ ಹೇಳಿದ್ರೆ, I can issue 600 out of 750. Earlier my balance was 150, like 550 and 200. 550 balance belongs to 600 and 6 ಮತ್ತೆ 2. 6 plus 2 is 8. 8 divided by 2 is 4. So you are going to get the balance is 2400. So 600 into 4 is 2400. 750 minus of 600, you will be getting 150. So what is the amount you are going to get is 1075. Now you need to be calculated the closing stock. Immediately after the last balance, you are supposed to go for the closing stock. Closing stock is available at 150 units, amounted to rupees 1075. This is what you need to be returned. Now, I hope you all understood the simple average method. Now, let us move on to the weighted average method. See here, on 1st Jan purchased 500 at the rate of rupees 5 amounted to 2500. What is the balance? Immediately after the purchase, go for the balancing. 500 at the rate of rupees 5 amounted to 2500. On 5th, we have purchased 600 at the rate of rupees 6 amounted to 3600. Immediately after the purchase, go for the balancing. 500 plus 600 according to the weightage, according to the quantity of materials, we are going to calculate the cost per unit here. Okay, so 500 plus 600, 1100. 2500 plus 3600, the amount is 6100. 6100 divided by 1100. Amount divided by the quantity. Okay, so you are going to get 5.55. Next, on 15th, we have issued. How many units was being issued? 350 units were issued. Out of 1100 issued 350. What is the cost per unit? 5.55. Already we have calculated. Take that 5.55. So 350 into 5.55, 1943 you are going to get. So 1100 minus of 350, 750 is the balance. 6100 minus of 1943, you are going to get the balance is 4157. Now you need to calculate the cost per unit. So amount divided by the quantity. You are going to get 5.54. Next on 20th Jan issued. How many units were we issued? 300 was issued. So 750 minus of 350, you are going to get the balance is 550. What is the cost per unit? 5.54. Take the same rate here. 300 into 5.54, you are going to get 1108. Now you need to go for the balancing. 750 minus of 300, 550. 4157 minus of 1108, you are going to get 3049. Next, on 25th, we have purchased. How many units was purchased? 200 units was purchased. So 200 into 2 is 400. Now, 550 plus 200, you are going to get 750. And 3049 plus 400, you are going to get 3499. Now, you need to calculate the cost per unit. 3449 divided by 750. You are getting 4.60. Next, this is the balance. On 30th, you have issued. How many units we have issued? 600 units we have issued. Now, what is the cost per unit? Already we have calculated 4.60. So 600 into 4.60, you are getting 2760. Now, after that, you need to go for the balancing. 750 minus of 600, 150, and 3499 minus of 2760, you are going to get 689. Now, immediately after the last balance, you need to go for the closing stock. Closing stock available is 150 units at the rate of rupees 4.60 amounted to, the stock is available, that is amounted to rupees 689. This is how you need to be calculated. I hope you all got it. Next, see, I have given you one problem regarding the weighted average method. When you are calculating the store's ledger account under the weighted average method, even you can calculate with the help of simple average method, Fifo method, and the Lifo method. That will be easier for you. Even you can consider this as an assignment. When you do the problem, I hope you will understand. Thanking you for watching.